voted against the more than $700 billion bailout, unlike most of your Democratic colleagues in October. Now, American International Group, the latest news out, the insurer saved from collapse by government money after losses on credit default swaps, offered about $400 million in retention pay to employees of the unit that sold the derivatives, according to two people familiar with the situation. I'm looking at a piece at Bloomberg.com. Explain what this is all about, why you're against the bailout, where this money is going, how there can be accountability.
Well, gee, Amy, I really wish I could. The reason that I voted against the whole bailout, and certainly the main reason, is nobody does understand it. What we know is that then Secretary of the Treasury Paulson came in after, by the way, and I want everybody to remember this, year after year after year, Bush was telling us, and Paulson was telling us, that the fundamentals of the economy are sound, the economy is doing great, and then one day Paulson calls up members of the Senate and the House. He says, oh, by the way, I made a little bit of mistake. If you don't give me $700 billion in a few days, the international financial system collapses. I mean, that talk about irresponsibility, talk about incompetence, that's one area. We obviously, the Congress didn't just give him $700 billion, but I had serious doubts about the competence of the Bush administration to do the right thing. I did not trust that they would be transparent or accountable. They are also all part of the same banking culture. The conflicts of interest of Mr. Paulson, who's the former CEO of Goldman Sachs, doling out money to Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and many of these other large financial institutions. It just did not taste right to me. So I think what we can say is for the first $350 billion, we really don't know if it did any good, what good it did, where it went. Certainly, when the banks are asked, tell us what you have done with this money, what they are saying to the taxpayers of this country, hey, it's none of your business. So what if it's your money? We don't have to tell you. In terms of the second $350 billion, I think that the Congress should have been more actively involved. What I worry about is that we're going to pour hundreds and hundreds of billions more, maybe even trillions, into just a rat's hole, and that money disappears, and I'm not quite sure what the taxpayers of this country are getting. But we should also understand it is not only this $700 billion. The Fed, with no transparency at all, is lending out trillions of dollars to whom we don't know, under what terms we don't know as well. So I think this whole issue amounts to certainly the greatest financial scandal in the history of this country. And if there is a lesson to be learned is we cannot go back to the old ways. We cannot deal with too big to fail. If it is too big to fail, if an institution is so big that it takes down the economy, let's break it up right now so we're never placed in this position at all. Clearly, in terms of these exotic financial instruments, these derivatives, these credit default swaps, we have not only got to regulate that stuff, we have got to make sure that these things are just not allowed to continue.
Tax Code 382, can you explain what it is? What are the taxpayers losing? How did it get passed?
Well, just as another example, in the midst of all of this, then Secretary of the Treasury Paulson said, oh, by the way, I think I will change tax law, and I will make it easier for large banks like Wells Fargo to absorb the losses and gain a tax break by swallowing up a smaller bank, in this case, Vonovia. And it seems he did this from where I am sitting, with no legal basis at all. You just don't change law. As a matter of fact, in the House stimulus package, that provision has now, what Paulson did has now been rescinded, and we think that will happen in the Senate as well. But the bottom line here, this is $140 billion tax breaks for large banks like Wells Fargo, who are swallowing up smaller banks like Wachovia. And that's obviously not something that the Secretary of Treasury, in my view, had the legal right to do.
Are you saying this tax loophole could have been illegal?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's what most tax experts say it. When you are the Secretary of Treasury, you don't make law. If you want to change the law, you go to Congress. This was a law. I think he acted illegally, and we want to rescind what he did.
Bernie Sanders, you're an independent. Where do you fit in with the Democrats and the Republicans right now? Where do you feel your independent voice is most needed?
Well, Amy, you know, I think it is no secret to your listeners and viewers that over the years, the Republican Party has become an extreme right-wing party. I think Bush will go down in history as certainly the worst president in modern American history, if not in the entire history of our country. The damage that he did to the United States and to the world in so many areas will take us decades to recover from. I work with progressive Democrats. As you well know, I don't vote with the Democrats all of the time. I worry quite a bit that there is a lot of big money interests which influences the Democratic Party as well. So my job is to represent working families and the middle class in my state, to fight for a national health care program which guarantees health care to all people, to begin to address the growing inequality and the fact that we have the most unequal distribution of income and wealth of any major country on earth, and basically to fight to change the national priorities of our country so that instead of spending huge sums of money on the military and giving tax breaks to billionaires, we protect the people who do the work, the middle class and working families.
Senator Sanders, let me ask, you sponsored legislation that would ban military contractors from Barack Obama has not signed on to this, supported this.
Right. I think one of the areas that we have to look at is the whole privatization that has taken place under Bush and before Bush. I think it's a bad investment for the American people. I was a mayor. I know something about privatization. And that's also certainly true in the military. Donald Rumsfeld was a big advocate of that. So you have the absurd situation where you have private companies in Iraq making huge sums of money, working alongside of government people who are making a whole lot less.
Do you think Bush administration officials should be criminally prosecuted?
I think that you have to take a hard look at everything that Bush did, because if we let them get away with it, it establishes a horrendous precedent for the United States. And I agree with your previous guests, the guests who were on before I am, that we need to take a very hard look at that, and let's see where the process goes.
Finally, we've got 10 seconds. Vermont could get $1 billion in stimulus money, your state?
Well, Vermont could get $1 billion, but money is coming all over this country to begin to rebuild our economy, to put people to work, and to address many of the unmet needs that we're currently facing.
We have to leave it there. Thanks so much for being with us, Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. I'm Amy Goodman. Thanks for joining us.